Welcome back to the weekend with Anthony Opperman. Off and running on this Saturday morning. And another group off and running this morning are the folks at Puritan Cleaners. It's November, and that means Puritan's annual Coats for Kids drive is in full swing. And with that in mind, I'd like to welcome into the weekend the Director of Operation for Puritan Cleaners, Norman Way. Norman, thank you so much for taking the time to chat. And can you believe that it's been 24 years since Coats for Kids started with Puritan Cleaners?
Anthony, first of all, good morning, and what an incredible number, man. That's a long time to do anything. Ask my wife. We're about to celebrate our 25th anniversary. But it's been a really fun ride. It is really a neat thing to see the community get together and bring in the coats, and we've collected a lot over those years.
I want to talk specifically, and why I think this is specifically relevant to a sports talk show, is the fact that you guys with Coats for Kids have delved into the sports world and the local sports scene. You partnered with VCU on November 3rd as part of the Coats for Kids drive. And then today is the third annual ballpark warming party at the Diamond with the Flying Squirrels. What is it about those local sports entities that fits the mission for Coats for Kids?
Well, when you go out to the court, you go out to the field, that's where our community gets together. That's where you'll find your neighbors. You look across, and there's the guy who lives down the street from you. And Puritan Cleaners is very much a part of this community. And so we just thought it would be a natural fit to take some of these venues to help spread the word. And it's not about Puritan Cleaners. We get the opportunity to spread the word, whether it be about the Central Virginia Food Bank and the our 100,000 Meals program to help those out, or in this case, to help the Salvation Army in collecting all these coats that they're going to give out to so many needy people.
Joined by Director of Operations for Puritan Cleaners, Norman Way. Norman, kind of sticking with the sports marketing theme, one of the new marketing campaigns for Puritan Cleaners has featured VCU men's basketball head coach Shaka Smart, and it's the clean, crisp, smart ad with Shaka dressed in his full suit spinning a basketball on his finger. Whose idea was that? Who gets the credit for coming up with that?
I got to give that to Bob Wirup over at Taylor Wirup Marketing. He's part of our family, if you will, and he's a great guy. And he and Robbie got together and talked about some things. Most of those guys already use Puritan Cleaners, and we were already part of the community, and we were already communicating on a very smaller level, if you will. And it just seemed like a good fit. And he does look smart, doesn't he? So and those clothes look good. So we try to keep Coach looking good while he keeps the team looking good on the court.
I had an opportunity to talk with Coach Smart prior to the first show, and I actually asked him about that. He said at the time he hadn't seen the ads yet, but he gave credit to his tailor for keeping him looking good. But I think it definitely speaks toward the emphasis and the importance of sports and sports figures in this community. And of course, after the Final Four run, Shaka Smart being one of the biggest visible figures on the local Richmond sports scene. Were you able to be at that photo shoot? I can imagine that had to have been a little bit of fun with him taking part in that.
Unfortunately, I had some other obligations with another coat event on that day. But I tell you what, the guys were out there just – when you're out at VCU and you're around those guys, there is such energy, such passion, and what an organization that is got a very clear goal. And so even entering into the photo shoot, there is a consciousness that we've got a purpose here, we've got a goal, and let's get it done, but let's do it to the very best of our ability. And that's the kind of people we like to be affiliated with, to be honest about it.
Joined by Director of Operations for Puritan Cleaners, Norman Way. And Norman, you speak about that, and then there's also the relationship with the Flying Squirrels, and I think that is really borne out in the ballpark warming party. It's going to be the third one. Speaking of hard to believe, that this is already the third year that the Flying Squirrels and Puritan Cleaners will be partnering up for the ballpark warming party. Just talk about this event and how you've seen it grow over the first couple of years and what you guys are hoping for today at the Diamond.
Well, as we're here collecting the coats, we've had a great relationship with the Flying Squirrels. From the very moment that they came in, we were, of course, been associated with the ballpark for a number of years, but in a much larger way. As Parney came in And we spoke with them. We realized that the excitement, everything that they wanted to do, we wanted that same type of thing. And then you put Christina in there, and some opportunities for us to get involved. And of course, we do free flag cleaning, and they promote that at each one of the games, just to let you know that we want you to flag your flag, be a proud American, and you can bring them in if you're here to get them clean. But this being our third year of doing the Coats for Kids ballpark warming, we thought the first year that there would be people coming out to see the new team come to town. But what we found out is that they keep coming back more and more, and the crowds just get larger because the folks over at the Flying Squirrels do such a great job at making a festive environment. And today, whether you want to get on with the kids on the field and be able to throw the ball around or get some free hot dogs, listen to some great music, we're not just collecting coats. We're doing a great thing with that. But it's a lot more going on here at the ballpark.
And specifically, if you wouldn't mind giving the details, 10 to 2 today at the Diamond.
Right, 10 to 2, and gently used coats. It doesn't have to be a kid's coat, although we actually do need those the most. But we'll take any size coat. We'll take care of cleaning it, repairing any zippers or buttons, minor damages that might be there, and then we'll make sure we get them to Salvation Army. But from 10 to 2, bring them. We've got our vans ready. We're filling those up, and last year we had to use multiple vans getting all the coats out of here. We want to be able to do that again this year.
Again, Director of Operations for Puritan Cleaners, Norman Wade. Norman, I know it's a lot of work for you guys to go through the Coats for Kids process and all the different collection points that you have, but just talk about the rewards that you get and the satisfaction that you get from doing this program.
Well, a million stories come to mind, but when you're collecting coats and you have someone come up and say, hey, I wanted to bring some coats down here because when I was a kid, our family had some hard times, and we went to the Salvation Army and got some things, and one of those was a coat, and how good it made me feel. When you hear those stories and people are coming back giving, it is fabulous. Probably one of the nicest things for Puritan Cleaners is this. It's not really us doing all the great work. We just happen to be the middleman. We're connecting good people in our community to good causes in our community, and getting to see that transfer where you see where a parent has come up, they've brought their kid, and I think about one little kid. Mom came in, had 2 little children with her. They were bringing their coats, and the youngest one stopped, paused, looked at his coat, lifted it up, and tried it on one last time as the sleeves were a little short. And I want to give this to somebody, but I want to make sure it doesn't fit anymore. But you see that happen, and then we clean them. And all of our employees that are just so fantastic, they put in extra hours of volunteering to make sure all the coats are clean, and then helping the distribution over at the Salvation Army. And then when they go to distribute them, you see parents come through, and they don't let kids in that center. They don't need to know necessarily where everything comes from. And then you see the parents come through and the genuine appreciation that somebody cared enough to help them out. I got to tell you, it's good stuff.
Love to talk about on this show how sports can transcend. And we talk all the time about how the actual world of sports itself isn't real, but in some instances like this, when you can use local sports teams or sports venues to do things like Coats for Kids and benefit the people that you're talking about, that is real. And certainly that's the kind of stuff that we like to get into specifically on this show, but also the kind of stuff that you like to see sport doing to better the community. It's great stuff. Norman, before I let you go, I'll let you get a plug in for Puritan Cleaners. Where can people find out more about Puritan as a whole and also all the great community work that you guys do?
Well, you can go to PuritanCleaners.com at any time and find out all our information. We also invite you to be a friend of ours, be a fan on our Facebook page, and that's simply Puritan Cleaners there at Facebook. We've got our Twitter feeds that go out as well, and a host of videos on YouTube. Who would think that from a dry cleaner? But if you're ever curious about how does that process happen, we've got those things there. One of the most heartwarming things I'd encourage you to do is to go to our webpage today, click on the Coats for Kids, and look at the videos of some of the schools. And just like in all these sports that we enjoy so much, it takes a team. And that's what happens. There is a team in this community of people that get together. that will help support causes like this. And you get to see some very heartwarming videos of some kids donating coats. And we'd like to invite you to that, PuritanCleaners.com or at Facebook for Puritan Cleaners.
Norman, thank you again so much for taking the time. Thank you guys for everything that you do in the community. Certainly appreciate it. I know it does not go unnoticed. And thank you so much for keeping me looking good. I really appreciate it. Matter of fact, I need to go visit the store on Staples Mill to pick up some dry cleaning right now.
Well, listen, on behalf of Gary Glover, the owner of Puritan Cleaners, and our entire team, we appreciate your support for this. And just like to encourage everyone, through the end of November, please bring your coats to any one of our Puritan Cleaners locations.
Norman White, Director of Operations for Puritan Cleaners, joined us here on the weekend with Anthony Opperman. We've got more when we come back. Stay tuned.
The Weekend with Anthony Opperman continues next on Sports Radio 910.